Welcome to In the Community with Tiffany K.
And we're back with In the Community. And this week we got to talk about a very important program for In the Community. And it's all volunteer based. And I'm very excited to speak with Charlie, who's the executive director of SAWS Virginia. Charlie, how are you this morning?
I'm very good this morning, Tiffany. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being on and sharing some information for people who don't know what SAWS Virginia is. And let's just start right there, right? Let's kick it off the bat. What is SAWS Virginia mission?
Our mission is to provide people who have few to no resources who are ambulatory disabled long-term with ramps that allow them to access the community, reconnect with the community, get to medical care much more easily, and maybe more importantly, to be able to stay in their homes and age in place.
Because you don't think about those situations when you get to that point, if you do have to be in that situation. And then you think about, oh, well, not every place you're able to have a wheelchair ramp wherever you're going. And then you go into a place, and I'm sure it's probably one of the worst moments to feel like I can't get in there. There's steps, I can't get up there. Or how am I going to ask for help? And so the mission that you have is just so important, and it's the little things in the community that you think about. And, you know, Virginia suggests SAWS exists beyond the Commonwealth. So where else does SAWS operate?
Well, SAWS is an organization that was founded in 2003 in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
And has now set up operations in Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada.
Wow.
The Indiana operation covers 63% of that state.
Oh, wow.
And so they also touch into the adjacent states, Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Illinois.
And how did you get involved with this?
Well, I'm from Indianapolis. And our church there in Indianapolis, St. Luke's United Methodist Church, got involved with the organization shortly after it was founded and became a principal player in that effort. And so as part of outreach of the church, my wife and I got involved, and we built a couple of ramps. And my background being marketing, I realized that this had a much bigger impact than what the organization was at that point in time. And so I became a board member. At one point, finally, I became the interim executive director as we were going through a transition. But my goal was to prepare the organization to become a national organization, develop a national footprint. Wow. And so that's what it has begun to do. And so it's still growing. It's entertaining inquiries from other states across the country.
Do you see this becoming a thing that's nationwide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are other organizations out there, but SAWS only builds ramps, and there are not a lot of organizations that are that single-focused, which allows us to become very, very good at what we do.
It's always better to be good at one thing than or many trades.
And the healthcare community appreciates that. We're kind of first of mind or top of mind when it comes to a client or a patient who needs that kind of service. So yeah, we get a lot of calls.
I'm sure you stay busy, especially in the area. And so that leads me right into the next part. What is the need in the Fredericksburg area and in Virginia, just in general?
Well, in Virginia, according to census data, there's over 700,000 people in the state of Virginia who are ambulatory disabled.
Oh, my gosh.
Employment rate for those people is pretty low. So that suggests that maybe they have limited access to the health care they need, which means if they're already disabled, it complicates their life and existence.
Right.
In the Fredericksburg area, the region or the four counties that are adjacent to Fredericksburg City, there's somewhere, again, according to census data, somewhere around 20,000 people
Really?
who are ambulatory disabled.
Wow.
And again, unemployment's low.
Mm-hmm.
Access to care is tenuous. And a significant percentage of those people would qualify for a SAWS ramp.
Wow.
And to qualify, someone needs to be 80% or less of the average median income of the county they reside in.
Okay.
And we consider medical debt, and we give priority to vets and first responders.
Wow. And I'm sure that's an expensive thing. And I'm sure a lot of people normally don't think about adding in a ramp somewhere. Oh, yeah. I can't afford it. I can't do this, which is where you all come in.
Yes. And we don't fault contractors. They're running a business. They've got to make a living, and they've got to pay their people.
Mm-hmm.
But we've heard estimates from people of sometimes a relatively simple ramp of $11,000
oh my gosh
to $15,000 for a ramp. And even people who aren't below the average median income might have difficulty, might struggle with that. But that's the line we have to draw, because the need is so great.
So are there other SAWS teams within Virginia?
No.
Okay.
There are not. We've had some people who have asked if we served beyond. We've gotten calls, a number of calls from Newport News, Hampton Roads area. Wow. And we even got a call from, or interest from, someone in Northern Virginia.
Really?
But we're growing. We would be willing to help someone start a SAWS team elsewhere.
Okay.
But they would have to be an independent affiliate of SAWS Incorporated, as we are. Okay.
So you service just the Fredericksburg region then?
Right.
Correct.
Planning District 16.
Okay.
Caroline, Stafford, King George, and Spotsylvania.
Okay. So where do your ramp requests come from then?
Well, they come from a number of sources. Word of mouth is out there. And so we got a number of calls from friends or family. We get a number of calls from healthcare providers, particularly Mary Washington Hospital.
Okay.
But we get a number of requests from local agencies who provide services to people with disabilities.
Okay. And you were talking earlier about the qualifying factors for someone to receive a SAWS ramp. So can we go over that one more time?
Sure. Yeah. Again, we have let me back up. We have a process by which we qualify people.
Okay.
Once we receive an application, we have a couple of physicians who will go out and do an assessment.
Okay.
Of the applicant. Not an exam, but just an assessment of their circumstances and what their condition is, the prognosis for how long that condition will exist, and from that information we decide to proceed or not to proceed.
Okay.
We've had to turn some down that their long-term disability was not going to be long-term.
Okay.
And once we receive that, then it goes into our build process.
Okay.
Where a team goes out and they survey the property. They sketch out the design that would work best for that location.
Right.
Get the applicant's approval on that. And then the operations team goes to work.
Wow. And on average, how long do you think that process takes?
It's about 3 months.
Okay.
It's about 3 months. We have a long list of applicants right now. We've got about 23, I think, on that list. So therein drives our need for more volunteers. If we can create another build team, then we think we will be able to cut that list or cut that wait time significantly.
Is that your biggest need right now, you believe?
That and a new location.
Okay.
A new shop location. We're presently in one of the barns at the old Roxbury Nursery and Garden Center.
Okay.
The property is owned by the Rappahannock Area Community Services Board, and they have been very generous. They've allowed us to use that space at no cost for the last 4 years, essentially.
Oh, wow.
But we know that that's a temporary situation, so we've begun the search for a new space so that we can continue to move forward. So we're looking for about 3,500 square feet with a large overhead door.
Okay.
Drive-in level.
And if anyone has information on a place for you all or wants to get involved, how do they contact you?
Well, they can email me
Okay.
At virginia@sawsramps.org.
Okay.
I get emails sometimes saying, Dear Virginia.
You're like, well, not necessarily, but
yeah.
You are now the face of Virginia. Congratulations.
Yeah. Please don't call me Shirley.
I love that. Oh, that's funny.
But email, or they can reach us through our website,
okay.
sawsramps.org.
Okay. And can anyone volunteer? Or like, what if, say, someone's not great at building ramps or they're not very handy? Maybe speaking of myself. Are there other ways that they can get involved?
Well, I tell people, sign up, show up, and grab a drill.
Okay.
It's very, very easy to do, and people can volunteer through the website.
Okay.
But it doesn't take any skill.
Okay.
If you can drive a screw, then you can do this work.
You're good to go.
South Virginia is a faith-based organization, but we're not exclusive. Regardless of faith tradition or not, we welcome everyone. Our goal is to transform the lives of people in need, people who come to us for help. And anyone who wants to help us do that, they're welcome to come. We welcome teenagers, 14 to 18. They need to be accompanied by a parent or guardian.
Okay.
But there is no age limit.
Wow.
Anybody is welcome.
Yeah.
We have a number of people who are retired doctors, lawyers,
wow.
others who just enjoy coming out and giving a little of their time and watching someone's life change dramatically in just a matter of hours.
I was just going to ask, that was my next question, this impact that you have on those who are receiving these ramps. What has that been like? And how has that affected you and your life and the entire SAWS organization?
Well, it's been incredible. We get a number of testimonials from people about how it's changed their lives, and here I'll read one of those to you. If you, I want to say thank you to you guys because you're a lifesaver. Marcia was starting to lose hope, afraid she was going to be stuck in the house forever. It put a smile on her face. I pray you guys just keep doing what you're doing and help the community. Wow. And that was from Linda. But I have pages of these.
And that pulls at your heartstrings. It's like, it sounds like it's a book that was written, but these are real life testimonials.
These are real people who are pretty much invisible to the rest of us because they're trapped.
Yeah.
If they don't have family or friends who can help them get out of their homes, sometimes they'll call 911 if they really need to make it to a doctor's appointment. I've talked to some firefighters, and I asked them how often do they get calls down in Caroline County. One of the guys said, every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, there's a great need. And one of the things we do when we finish a ramp, we send a package of information to the client. Oh, cool. That information from the United Way resource directory.
Oh, wow.
Information from Disability Resource Center and Equipment Connection.
Oh, okay.
Which provides free equipment to those in need. The Mental Health Association, because a number of the people that we see, we don't ask the questions, but you can just observe by the conditions that they're living in, and the fact that they've been trapped. Some people have been trapped for almost a year or more.
Oh my goodness.
That certainly that has an impact on people's mental health.
Well, I think we all also saw it. You know, when a lot of us were trapped in our homes during COVID.
Yeah.
You know, and imagining that is your lifestyle. That's not just we got out, you know, go back into society.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people kind of got a taste of it. So pulling on those volunteers to help and that's one way to think about it. You know, we didn't like that. A lot of us didn't, being trapped there.
Yeah.
So imagine not having any way to get out.
And we also include information about the food co-op.
Okay.
As well. So it's probably contains a lot of information that people didn't even know, resources that people didn't even know existed.
It's a little more than just building a ramp. It's building community.
Yeah. Yeah, the needs go far beyond the ramp, but the ramp's a big piece, especially for the mental health.
Mm-hmm. Just getting outside 5 minutes a day, that's really all you need anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not uncommon for a client to just thank us for the platform, the flat platform that we build into the longer ramps. Just being able to get out and sit on that platform.
I'm sure.
And feel the sun and listen to the birds and watch a sunrise or sunset.
It's the little things we all take for granted.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Well, you all are doing God's work, in my opinion. So thank you for what you're doing.
Well,
I was going to ask you, how do you measure the impact of what you all are doing right now?
We measure it at the end of each ramp.
Okay. Every ramp you get done.
Yes. The impact not just on the client, but on the volunteers as well.
Okay.
Many of our volunteers are just addicted to the high you get when you see someone's life change right before your eyes, and at your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there occasionally are tears shed at the end of a build, both by the client and volunteers. So yeah, it's something that you can't really experience in just a matter of hours. That has that kind of impact on you and someone else. It's just a rare experience, really.
Mm-hmm.
So we welcome people of all backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus asked Peter if Peter loved him, and 3 times Peter responded, "Yes, Lord, I love you." And Jesus said, "Take care of my sheep." And so when people thank us, I tell them we're just answering the call.
I just got chills. That's a great way to put that. I'm talking with Charlie, the executive director of SAWS Virginia. Now, I do have a question. Where do you see this going within the next couple of years, or what do you want to see happen?
Well, I'm about to step back.
Okay.
I've worked with SAWS for 13, 14 years,
Wow.
And starting the affiliate here has been over 4 years of daily.
Yes, a lot of
daily
work.
It was a lot of work. But I'm looking to take a step back to just a board position, and
Okay.
We are looking at a candidate to hire and take my place.
Wow.
And again, if we can get into a larger space that will allow us to host more building teams, then I think that's where I see us going.
Okay.
We're not looking to build a kingdom to cover the entire state. At one point, that was our thought and idea, but the need across the state is just enormous. And the coordination, the administration of something that large would take a much larger organization than we are.
Okay.
Or maybe would ever become.
Right.
So anyone who wants to start what we're doing somewhere else in the state, we will help. We will help.
Awesome. That's amazing. You know, you're helping the community, but you're also helping beyond that. And sometimes it's just taking that first step of starting your own organization.
Yeah, I have quite a referral network.
I'm sure.
So, you know, we get calls from each state line, state boundary there is. And so I don't like to tell people no.
Right.
And so we refer them into other networks that we know of that may not be ramp buildings, but at least it's a resource that might lead them to one.
Yeah.
And
lead them to starting it on their own.
And maybe starting it on their own.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for all of your service for 13, 14 years. It's been a fun journey, for sure, a long journey. But you are helping a community with a need that a lot of us didn't know was a need. And I think that's the biggest thing. So one more time, the big call today is getting volunteers to help become another build team, be able to get that list a little shorter so you can add more people onto that list. And also, if you know of a space a little bigger that you guys can use, you can reach out as well. Can we give those contact methods one more time?
Yes. Email to me at virginia@sawsramps.org, or go to our website and send a message through our website, sawsramps.org.
Awesome. And you can volunteer as well there.
You can volunteer there. You can also apply for a ramp there if you have a need.
That's good to know. Well, Charlie, thank you so much for being with me this morning. I appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing all this information and everything that you all do.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
And that'll do it for In the Community this week. If you are a nonprofit and need to bring attention to your cause or organization, please reach out through this station's website, and we will see you next week.